मैं कुछ स्पेशल प्लान नहीं किया बट आई विल ट्राई that whenever I'm going anywhere, I will record the whole journey and try to upload it with you. I know many of the time there won't be anything in these videos, but then they are simply going to be my practice session where I'm practicing speaking English. I've been doing this for a lot of time, but it's apparent to me that I need more practice. So I will be making these videos regularly wherever and whenever I am going. So right now, I'm going from I'm in Khurari, Badagaon, and going to Pinto Park. So you will see the whole journey, the whole path from here to there, and I will try to keep talking the whole way. That way, this will give me sufficient time to practice myself. And I've heard somewhere that if you want to specialize, master any language or any skill, you need to give time to that particular thing. And right now, I want to master English, so I need to give more time to it. I mean, just as I have to talk with myself, so I'll talk about the things that happened today. Just previously, I was coming and I saw two tractors. They were overloaded. They had these overhangs, planks, and on to that, they had tarpaulins. In the inside, there was a fodder. I mean, husa, if you know what I am saying, and they were literally very much overloaded, and one tractor was covering the entire width of the road that literally brought traffic to a standstill, and m- most of us had to go out of the road and then carry on carry on. So I just want to highlight this issue that I know that farmers, they don't have the requisite resources to transfer these things effectively, and transferring in such huge bulk in one single input is often economic to them, and we definitely need that farmers get the things done cheaply. But whenever these tractors or trucks or other farm related machines and materials, they are going through cities, I think proper care should be taken so that the city traffic, it is not disturbed. And it's not just about disturbance, but it's also about that many times we've seen that if you, I mean, just previously the tractor, it didn't had any light in the back, and I mean, the tractor itself was not visible at all. Suppose this was night time, then any speeding car coming from behind, it would literally hit it. If there is any miscommunication or any miscalculation on the part of the car or any other vehicle driver, because these things, they are completely dark from behind, and that's why it's very dangerous. I saw just a couple of weeks back in Gwalior a Fortuner. It was speeding. I know that it was speeding, and it's their fault as well. But it was speeding, and I think they wanted to overtake from the side, from the wrong side, and that's where a tractor fully loaded with sand. It was parked. It was parked half on the road and half of the side, and this over speeding Fortuner just banged into that particular tractor, and all these five young people aged around 22 to 27, they lost their lives. I mean, it was at such high speed, and when a vehicle at such a high speed is having collision with a sand loaded truck, that means this vehicle is colliding with a very strong wall, and as a consequence, all of those young people, young men, they lost their life. So I am just giving you an example that what kind of accidents could happen from these overloaded, from these vehicles that do not have backlighting, that are not parked properly or that are not going properly. And these are not just isolated events. I mean, just a few days back, I watched a reel. I think it was from Bihar, wherein a truck loaded with similar fodder, it overturned and it overturned on a Bolero on its side, and the Bolero was completely uh, crushed behind this particular truck. Uh, Unfortunately or fortunately, there was just one person, but he could not be saved. That person lost his life. But it could have been a much bigger tragedy had the Bolero uh, more occupants. That's what I'm trying to say is that these vehicles which are overloaded, although farmers need they're forced to overload these things because this will save them money. But these overloaded vehicles are extremely dangerous for others when they are flying on the road. That is my concern, and that's what I want to highlight. So right now I've entered the Morar cantonment area. As you can see, this road is getting its pavement done on both sides, and this road itself was built just around a month back. Earlier, it used to be so bad. It still used to be narrow as well. It's a good thing. This cantonment, the cantonment area, you can see canteens and other army. This army cantonment, so other army installations are nearby. All of them are completely covered, so I won't be revealing their details, and that's good because I don't want to reveal what's inside these, and whatever is visible in this video is publicly available. So I don't think that this would put the army in any jeopardy. So I've been driving this XUV 300, and what I've noticed is that on highways, XUV can give me up to 21 kilometer per liter of average, and that's good. But of late in city, I've seen that the average could drop down to 15, 16 as well. So from the past couple of days, there was some reckless driving, and as a consequence, my average came down to around 16.9. But today I moved it from 17.1 to 17.4, and I'm driving very carefully and very economically, and that's why it reached 17.4, and hopefully by the time I reaches my home it would cross 17.5. I have to take its average above 18, and then it can become economic to me to go to college, to go to court through XUV instead of a bike or a scooty. Okay, I mean, it's quite hard to continuously talk about nothing for a long duration. This is going to be a 20-minute long video because Instagram allows you to record up to 20 minutes in the reel section. And I'm using Instagram to record, not the default camera of iPhone, because if I'm recording with the default camera, then it would take up storage, more storage on my phone, and iPhone's videos are the default camera's videos are too much um, uh, memory hungry, and that's why I'm recording here. Here I can record multiple videos, I can delete them at the same time. But when it comes to the default camera, even if I'm I don't like any particular video, if I'm trying to delete that video, then I have to delete from the recently deleted as well. And I think there are some traces of data left every time you delete something from a phone. That's why I prefer Instagram or other platforms where I can record in the app itself. I don't think that it would take much storage on my phone, even if I'm saving this video later to okay, I think there is a accident there. Yes, you can see something happened there. I cannot stop, or it will stall the traffic. But I mean, I know I should have stopped, but there are already a lot of people there, and I'm stopping, and these people they are helping. And if I'm stopping, it will completely clog the traffic, and that's why I'm not stopping here. But um, every time you see any such accident, and if you see that there are no one to help that person, we must stop our vehicle, get out of the vehicle and help them. Because if you are helping an accident person in the golden hour, the very first hour, then it results in saving of life. Many people lost their lives in during accident because they do not get any support, any help during the golden hour. Earlier, many people also did not stop because, in many cases, those who stopped were framed for the accident, and that's why people got scared. But for the past couple of years, the government is extensively uh, bringing out this awareness program that if you are helping an accident person, then they are going to reward you and they are not going to charge you for uh, because of any misunderstanding, and your safety, your time would be completely valued and respected, and that's why more and more people are stopping nowadays. I would also recommend you to stop. See, मुरार छावनी में पधारने पर आपका धन्यवाद. Thanks for visit to Murar Cantonment. Others Gosala is in the right. This is 6 number Charaha. In this Murar Cantonment area, or nearby, we have squares delineated by numbers. This is 6 number. This is number 6, and ahead of us is 7 number. It's 7 numbers. Okay, the signal is green, and I am hoping that. Oh, unfortunately, we have to stop for a minute, and my recording is already in the 13th of minute. So I have to reach home in the next 6 minutes. But of that 6 minutes, some minutes are going to be in the right signal. Let's see whether I am able to reach home within 20 minutes or not. Hopefully, I can. I want to be, but it's not always that what you want, what is you get. This is Saat number Chara, as is clearly written. 17, 16. Let's talk about some news. So earlier today I read Indian Express, and the one particular news from economic point of view that is important to India is the CBAM, the Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism. CBM is a form of tax levied by European Union on imports of carbon intensive products into the European Union. So the the architecture of it was implemented from October 2023, but the final implementation started from 1st of January 2026. So under it, all commodities, mostly, and it's not all, but right now they have listed out a few commodities such as iron and steel, fertilizers, electricity, aluminum, hydrogen. So these 5 6 commodities, uh, every importer who is importing these commodities into a European Union they have to pay carbon border adjustment mechanism, meaning they have to pay for the carbon that these products emitted during their production. So right now, what happens is that in developing countries, factories they do not have to comply with heavy emission norms, and that's why factories often use outdated machines, cheap materials, and cheap techniques to produce these products. But on the contrary, if we look into their counterparts in advanced economies such as the European Union, then in European Union, factories have to bring in latest machines, latest techniques, and they also have to incorporate um good quality practice so that the overall emissions are less. And even after that, they have to pay for the carbon emissions. I mean, to give you a picture in perspective, every emission, every ton of emission that happens in European Union, they have to pay around 80 pounds. So suppose they are producing 1 ton of steel, then for 1 ton of steel, the emission is one. Okay, sorry, let's cut that. So suppose they are producing 1 ton of steel, and in this 1 ton of steel, 2 ton of CO2 equivalent of CO2 is emitted, then they have to pay 160 euros to the government. That is the hefty kind of taxes that producers have to pay in these countries. But producers in India or producers in other developing economies, they don't have to go. Okay, so let's continue our discussion on carbon border adjustment mechanism. So it's a form of tax that European Union is going to levy on certain products, as I mentioned earlier, imported from developing economies, and it is not restricted or applicable to one particular country. It would be applicable on all countries. It will give a level playing field to countries producing similar items in European Union and countries producing these items outside of European Union. So suppose if 1 ton of steel is produced and the production cost, all the raw material and man cost in 1 ton of steel is 10,000 rupees. But in the European Union, uh, these producers they also have to pay carbon tax. Suppose if 1 ton of steel involves around 2 tons of CO2 or CO2 equivalent, then they have to pay 160 euros in addition. So you see there is a clear mismatch in uh, overall production cost of 1 ton of steel in developing economies and European Union. To give a level playing field to producers in developing in European Union, the CBAM is introduced by European Union. It is going to be devastating for developing economies, especially India. Already, before full implementation, that is from 1st January 2026, we saw India's steel exports to European Union decline by around 24% because implementation of CBM would involve a lot of cost, lot of compliance cost as well, because these manufacturers in India they have to quantify how much carbon they are emitting in which process, and we have to certify all of their carbon emission process. And this compliance cost is too much. So it is hoped that it is predicted that this particular CBM is going to wipe out around 16 to 22% of profit of Indian producers. Not just Indian producers, along the world, across the globe, producers are going to hit by CBA. However, there is one exception that if these countries are paying any such carbon tax at the domestic producing country, then these producers they don't have to pay such tax. But right now, the Indian government it does not levy any such carbon tax in India, so Indian exporters definitely would have to pay this particular CBE. Thank you, and we'll meet again